Hello explorers, welcome back to Click Learn TV. Today we're going on an exciting journey across Asia. Can you identify countries just by looking at their location on the map and a couple of clues? Let's begin the challenge. Can you guess this country? Here's your first hint, the Great Wall. And here's another hint, giant pandas. What's your answer? The answer is China. Great job if you got it right. Fun fact, China is one of the world's oldest civilizations. Can you guess this country? Here's your first hint, the Taj Mahal. And here's another hint, the Diwali festival. What's your answer? The answer is India. Great job if you got it right. Fun fact, India is the birthplace of yoga. Can you guess this country? Here's your first hint, Mount Fuji. And here's another hint, sushi. What's your answer? The answer is Japan. Great job if you got it right. Fun fact, Japan has more than 6,000 islands. Can you guess this country? Here's your first hint, Seoul. And here's another hint, K-pop. What's your answer? The answer is South Korea. Great job if you got it right. Fun fact, South Korea is famous for technology and innovation. Can you guess this country? Here's your first hint, Bangkok. And here's another hint, elephants. What's your answer? The answer is Thailand. Great job if you got it right. Fun fact, Thailand is known as the land of smiles. Can you guess this country? Here's your first hint, Makkah and Medina. And here's another hint, the Arabian Peninsula. What's your answer? The answer is Saudi Arabia. Great job if you got it right. Fun fact, it is the largest country on the Arabian Peninsula. Can you guess this country? Here's your first hint, Komodo dragons. And here's another hint, thousands of islands. What's your answer? The answer is Indonesia. Great job if you got it right. Fun fact, Indonesia is the world's largest island country. Can you guess this country? Here's your first hint, the Merlion. And here's another hint, it's a city country. What's your answer? The answer is Singapore. Great job if you got it right. Fun fact, Singapore is one of the cleanest cities in the world. Can you guess this country? Here's your first hint, the Petronas Towers. And here's another hint, tropical rainforests. What's your answer? The answer is Malaysia. Great job if you got it right. Fun fact, Malaysia is home to amazing biodiversity. Can you guess this country? Here's your first hint, pho noodles. And here's another hint, it's an S-shaped country. What's your answer? The answer is Vietnam. Great job if you got it right. Fun fact, Vietnam is famous for beautiful rice terraces. Can you guess this country? Here's your first hint, jeepneys. And here's another hint, more than 7,000 islands. What's your answer? The answer is the Philippines. Great job if you got it right. Fun fact, the Philippines has some of the world's most beautiful beaches. Can you guess this country? Here's your first hint, K2 Mountain. And here's another hint, the Indus River. What's your answer? The answer is Pakistan. Great job if you got it right. Fun fact, K2 is the second highest mountain on Earth. Can you guess this country? Here's your first hint, Dubai. And here's another hint, the Burj Khalifa. What's your answer? The answer is the United Arab Emirates. Great job if you got it right. Fun fact, the Burj Khalifa is the tallest building in the world. Can you guess this country? Here's your first hint, Mount Everest. And here's another hint, the Himalayas. What's your answer? The answer is Nepal. Great job if you got it right. Fun fact, Nepal's flag is the only non-rectangular national flag. Can you guess this country? Here's your first hint, Genghis Khan. And here's another hint, vast grasslands. What's your answer? The answer is Mongolia! Great job if you got it right. Fun fact, Mongolia is one of the least densely populated countries in the world. Fantastic work, explorers! How many countries did you guess correctly? We hope you learnt something new about Asia today. Thanks for watching Click Learn TV. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share this video with your friends. See you in the next adventure. Bye!